Hey, this is Rob from ChainsawGuitarTuition.net. This video is going to be about the heavy metal style Gallop. Okay, this is the Gallop that's made famous by Iron Maiden, and it's also been used by Metallica, and all the bands kind of stem from that sort of school of sort of playing. Basically, it's a technique where you sort of emphasize certain notes to create a rhythm, and what we've got with this sort of main kind of Gallop, you've got a that kind of rhythm. So you're doing the first chord is emphasized and longer, and then you've got two shorter, obviously a lot of the time palm muted, otherwise you get a kind of, which is also used, but I prefer the kind of where you've got the palm muted. The first thing we want to talk about with this, and I've done videos on picking technique before, but I need to hold your pick, make sure you're holding it properly. You need basically crook your finger around like that, and then your pick goes on top, and then your thumb goes on top of your pick, and you've got it sort of held there. And the more contact surface area you've got between your fingers and the pick, the better. But the more contact area you've got between your pick and the strings, the harder it becomes, because you get caught in the strings. So you only want a little bit of the pick, the tip of the pick, sort of showing and touching the strings, otherwise you're going to slow yourself down. Okay, so what is this rhythm? Basically, with all these ideas, we're splitting the beat into 4 equal subdivisions, right? So we've got, for each beat, we'll be going 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that, okay? And then what we're doing is we're tying together the first 2 for the traditional Gallop. So instead of playing 1, so I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4 for each beat, instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to go 1, miss 2, but keep holding the note, and then 3, 4. So it's going to go like this. So that'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going with this. With 4 beats, you'll be going down, up with a pick. With this, you're missing the second one, so you're going down, miss, down, up. So it's down, up is the rhythm, okay? It's the strumming pattern. And what I was also doing there was, I was palm muting. So what you want to do is, obviously the wrist motion is the motion you're using for picking, okay? So when you're doing, if you're just doing sort of with no palm muting, that's entirely from the wrist, sort of a waving kind of action. Your arm comes into this as well, where you need to palm mute and then sort of take off the mute. So you're going to go chord, and this is the emphasised chord for the 2 beats that we tied over, and then mute, mute. So it's going to go down, no palm muting, and then down, up, muted, okay? Next we're going to look at some variations on this theme. As I said before, it's about emphasising certain notes, and that's the main kind of heavy metal sound that you're getting. So you're doing the unmuted and then the muted. Okay. You have the reverse Gallop, which is basically the opposite way around. You're tying together the last 2 notes of 4. So instead of having the 1, 2, 3, 4 again, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the standard rhythm again. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to go down, up, down for the first 3, and then miss the up on the last one. So we sort of group together the last 2 out of the 4. Okay, so it sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the slow version. If you put that with a chord, and when I play the tied together notes, I'm unmuting. Okay, so I'm muting for the first 2, and then taking my palm mute off for the last chord. Okay, so it sounds like this, which is is the opposite way around to the. Okay, so it's basically reversed. It's a gallop but reversed. That's also used in a lot of heavy metal stuff. If you're kind of the mathematical sort of person, you'll notice that we haven't tied together the middle two. We've tied together the first two, the last two, but not the middle two. And that, if you do that, it kind of sounds crazy, and that's the kind of rhythm used in jazz. So we're not going to look at that one, okay, for this metal video. There are other variations as well. You've got, you can emphasize literally anywhere on the beat. And if you look at this riff, you should know. So. Okay, the Crazy Train. You've got 4 palm muted notes, and this is also used in a lot of other stuff. If you play this just on the A chord that I was doing there, it goes. Again, we're now accenting every 5, so it kind of, it's syncopated. It doesn't quite sound the same every time. So. That's another kind of variation. Obviously, you can emphasize anywhere. A good example would be there's a sort of rhythm used in the Pantera song. It kind of goes. It kind of. Okay, and that's kind of. It's not quite the gallop, but you're emphasizing again. You're going. So you can still hear that kind of emphasized mute thing going on. Okay. And the last thing, the thing that I did in the beginning, where I used the 3 different types of gallop and metal kind of rhythms, you can actually come up with some quite sort of thrash metally riffs if you take the emphasized part of the section. So let's take the heavy metal gallop again, which was, so if we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can take that part and we can actually create that into a melody. We can do single notes. So we could do. So what I've done there is I've moved it up to the A string and I'm going 7th fret, 5th fret, but we're still with the between each one and the same rhythm. Okay, so you've got. And if you really want to take this really far, you can do a whole kind of tune based on that same rhythm. So you could have something like this. Like similar to what I was playing at the beginning of the video. And you can do this with any any mode, any key, anything you want, as long as you know where you are. So you can. Again, that's following the same kind of ideas. You've got, the reason this works is you've got the low E string. That's kind of a pedal tone, and that gives you your tonic or root note, whichever one you prefer to think of, which you build everything else on top of. So all the modes are going to work in this sequence, this idea. Obviously, if you're going for metal, minor modes are more kind of metally, but you can also try it with try it with major scale, see what happens. So you have. Again, it's heavy metal, but it's like thrash metal, but major and happy. You can give that a go if you want. So it's up to you. I'll just recap that one more time, okay? So what we're doing is we're splitting the beat into 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're holding the first one over the first 2 parts of it, okay? So it's going to, instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, it'll go 1, 3, 4. So it's going. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. Until then, I'll see you next time.